and welcome to Motivation, Meditation, and Coffee with Kat. I, of course, am your humble host, Kat, and I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me this morning, and thank you to everybody who joined me yesterday for both Motivation, Meditation, as well as my Path of Exile stream. We had amazing conversations. We had an amazing time. Fun was had by all, and I want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who has smashed that follow button to get me one step closer to affiliate. I appreciate you. And I want to say you are active in chat, ? Good morning, Demetrio. You are active in chat, ? I'm going to say you are active in chat. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has reached out to support me with the idea of game mechanics and life coaching. Yesterday I kind of went on a bit of a rant. I was feeling a little salty from some conversations that I had with the generation before me. And so on the one hand, I want to apologize if I might have come off as abrasive or abrupt. On the other hand, I do want to say thank you to everybody who reached out to show their support for my game mechanics in my coaching process. And that is also where we're going to continue our conversation today. The last thing I want to bring your attention to is that I will not be live tomorrow. I'm going to be taking the day off tomorrow because I have a lot of shit happening tomorrow, and I want to be able to give myself I want to be able to hold myself in a safe space, as well as just give myself some time to integrate everything, as I'm going to have a long day today and a long day tomorrow. So I have opted to not stream tomorrow morning. I might throw on a previous broadcast just to keep the routine happening for you, but it will not be live. So, with all that being said, yesterday I challenged you. Yesterday I challenged you to see how much of your decision-making skills was learned through video games. How much of your decision-making skills, how many of your life skills, how much of your soft skills that you use every day did you learn or develop or hone, perfect from video games, or tabletop games, any other type of games? Maybe it was those little flick games, those little ring games that you flick the button and it pops the ball up. Pardon me. I apologize, that was very awkward. How many of your soft skills were developed from video games? Because I want to talk today about something that we alluded to a little bit yesterday, the amygdala, as well as an amygdala hijack, which then leads into the standard operating procedure of our unconscious mind. This might be a little bit of a lecture. This might be a little bit of a, oh wow, it's way too early to learn all of this stuff, and that's okay. You can always watch the VOD if there's something that caught your attention. But today I want to focus on how these things are also affected by our decision-making skills, and I want to use my experience in Dungeons & Dragons, specifically 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, and how those decision-making skills I learned how to adapt from D&D. So your amygdala. What in God's name is your amygdala? Your amygdala is actually that part of your brain that controls your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn reactions. A lot of people don't know that there's a fourth F. What we always hear about is a fight, flight, or freeze. What we don't talk about is fawn, because we assume that freeze is also the acceptance of fawn, or that fawn is just a way of accepting the situation. So, amygdala is your fear center. The amygdala is your standard operating procedure of, am I in danger? Yes, no. If yes, flight, run away. If no, fight. Fight, flight, freeze. This is what controls our standard operating procedure. As I say, this controls the if this, then that. So your brain will go through a flowchart. Am I in danger? Yes, no. Can I fight it? Yes, no. If you don't have an answer to either of those, can I flee from the situation? No. Can I fight the situation? No. Freeze. And that is where panic attacks sit in. That is where shock starts to sit in. That is when you start to feel your body crush. That is when all of the energy, all the kinetic energy in you sits and you don't know what to do. That's where the vibration starts. That's where the panic attack starts, because your chest muscles are condensing. What we don't talk about is fawn. Fawn is when you go with whatever the situation is. And this is where a lot of the trauma response will kick in. This is what prevents you from being your authentic self. This is what prevents you from being you. And why maybe you don't feel confident. Because you're afraid of what people might think, and so you go with it. You're afraid of what the outcome might be. You're afraid to push back, and so you just go with it. You fawn. Fawn is seen as a response, but it is a negative response. Fawn will most often get you in trouble. I don't want to focus on that right now because this is a positive stream. So, how do you prevent an amygdala hijack? The amygdala hijack is what you can prevent by understanding decision-making skills. So, the situation, can I flee the situation? No, I'm not in danger, so I don't need to flee. I'm not in physical danger, I don't need to defend myself, so I don't need to fight. I am not scared, so I'm not going to freeze. And I don't need to fawn, because I refuse to go along with it. Perfect, we've prevented the amygdala hijack. But what do? You make a decision. And sometimes those decisions don't necessarily go your way. How do you handle that? This rolls into your responsibility. Your response ability. You made a decision with the information that you were given at the time. Okay. Was it the right decision? Who knows? Was it the wrong decision? Who knows? Until the outcome shows up. And so, when we find the outcome, you can choose, yep, I made the right decision because everything worked out well. I made the right decision even though things did not turn out well, because I made the decision that I felt comfortable with based on the information I was given. I made the right decision, everyone else is wrong. Some people do that. What does all this have to do with Dungeons and Dragons? When you make a decision in Dungeons & Dragons, 9 times out of 10 you have to roll a dice. Use your modifier, see what happens. I want to do this. Okay. With all of the information that is given to you, you choose to make a decision. You have to roll a dice. And if that dice rolls a natural 1, that's bad. Even with a modifier, you might only get a 5. You might only get a 3. You might roll a negative. -2, right? And so what do? I make this decision. Well, you fail spectacularly. What do? You roll with the punches. You figure out, you react and move on. You figure out, okay, so I wanted to do this. It failed miserably. I'm going to do this instead. Perfect. That's awesome. Because the outcome was decided right there. If this, then that. You rolled the dice, you had no control over it, and this is what happened. Maybe you succeeded. Amazeballs. In life, when you make a decision, you don't necessarily roll the dice right away. It might be 2 or 3 days until the result comes through. My question, though, is that in D&D, you allow your character to roll with the dice. You allow your character the freedom of, alright, I made this decision, that didn't work, well shit, I'm gonna have to do something else now. So why is it when you make a decision in life, you're stuck on that one decision? Why is it when you make a decision and it comes around that your decision didn't pan out the way you wanted it to, you sit down in a huff, you cross your arms and say, life fucking sucks. Well, now what the fuck am I supposed to do? And you get all angry. I guess. Why? If you made that same decision in D&D and you rolled a nat 1, what would you have done? You would have figured out what else to do and moved on. So why is it that in life when you make a decision, it's that or nothing? Because you're allowing your amygdala to decide what to do. You're allowing the amygdala hijack. I'm going to make a decision. Oh, that didn't work. I guess I'm going to have to do this now. React and move on. I'm not saying react and move on and then forget everything. You learn from it if it was a mistake. You accept your response. You learn from it, and you know what? I made that decision last time. I'm going to make this decision this time. Game mechanics in life can make life easier. People will say life isn't a game. It's not. But you know what? Games can give us a practice round. Games can allow us to develop those skills. Games are grinding our levels for experience that we can use in everyday life. So when you make a decision in D&D and you fail, you react, move on, and make a different decision. If you make a decision in life, what do? Why do you handle it differently? That's my challenge for you today. My challenge for you is to look at the decisions you make in a day. What drives your decision making? Is it the amygdala? Is it your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response? Or is it your ability to react and move on and learn from it? I am limiting the challenge to those two things because the amygdala is what we are trying to rewrite. The amygdala is what we are trying to prevent from telling you, from dictating how you decide things. I'm not saying it's useless piece like your appendix. I'm not saying the amygdala is like your tonsils where you have evolved away from it. I'm saying your amygdala could be preventing you from making decisions that are right for you. Your amygdala could be preventing you from being your authentic self. Your amygdala is preventing you from a positive response. So think about it. When you make decisions today, look at how you make your decision. Is it based on flight, fight, freeze, or fawn? You're just gonna go with it? Whatever, I don't really care. I don't want to piss off anybody, so I'm just gonna go with whatever happens. Or I'm gonna run away from this decision. You know what? It doesn't involve me. Peace out. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight that this is not an option. You know, a decision. I'm not going to make this decision, and I'm going to fight you. I'm going to get my back up, and you're going to make it. I'm going to roll an intimidation check, if you will. Or are you going to sit there and you're going to say, and freeze? Have an error 404 roll in your eyes. Those are the amygdala responses. Or are you going to think to yourself, well, I can do this, I can turn it that way, or I can do that. Roll the dice. Well, rolled in that one. Seems legit. It's pretty on brand. Let's go. It is what it is. That's not a fawn response. It is what it is. It's not a fawn response. It's a responsibility, a response ability for you made a decision. Okay, you know what? Note to self, next time, don't do that. Moving on. Because you rolled in that one. The same as your D&D character would. Use decision making as the first step to learning game mechanics IRL, in real life. I'm not saying roll the dice for every decision you make. What I'm saying is, what would your character do? In my case, what would Adelaide do? Something really stupid. But you know what? That's me. Adelaide is my authentic self. And that is what I am bringing to life. So I want to reflect just a few minutes now. How do you make a decision now versus how you made decisions maybe before you started playing tabletop roleplay? How has your decision-making skills changed over the years? When you were a kid, how did you make decisions? Did you let your parents decide for you? Maybe you let your friends decide for you. Maybe you were not able to make decisions. Maybe you weren't allowed to make decisions. You were never given the option. And so when you are faced with a decision, you freeze. You let someone else make the decision for you, and you fawn. You let someone make the decision for you, and you ran. You didn't like that decision, and you booked it. Or maybe you didn't like the decision, and so you fought over it. how we make decisions have also changed as we grow up, as we learn how to make decisions. But again, only 10% of what we do, see, hear, think is conscious. 90% of what we do is unconscious. And our unconscious stopped mapping at 7 years old. Unless we have consciously started using the skills to develop our decision making, to which we can evolve our decision making skills. Does that make sense? So when you were a kid, under 7 years old, how did you make decisions? When you were a kid, when you were a teenager, when you were a kid, between 8 and 13, how did you make decisions? 13 to 16. Decisions. Every 7 years, how did your decision-making skills change? And what influenced them? What influenced your decision-making skills? For those of you that play tabletop roleplay, and for those of you who are used to making decisions in games with dice, how has your decision making in real life been influenced by your decision making in tabletop roleplay? That's my challenge for you today. Decision making in D&D. How has it affected you? So with all of that, I would like to say thank you for those of you who have been able to join me this morning for Motivation, Meditation, and Coffee with Kat, talking about our decision-making skills and how they are affected by Dungeons & Dragons. And just take a few minutes to reflect while you drink your milk tea juice, take that bite of bagel, toast, or cereal, whatever you happen to be eating this morning, and allow yourself to get ready for a meditation. Get comfortable, clear your mind, as you find that place that's comfortable, just relax. Adjust any clothing or your blanket or your pillow that might become distracting during the meditation. Close your eyes and allow your unconscious mind to tell you everything it needs you to know. Allow yourself to hear the noise. And then I want you to pick out one individual sound, something that your unconscious needs you to know, whether it be you need to do the laundry today, or you need to go grocery shopping, or you need, so whatever it is that your unconscious is poking at. Imagine a chalkboard in front of you. Hear that noise. Acknowledge it, write it down on the chalkboard, do the laundry, acknowledge it, thank you, show it gratitude, and then mute the noise. Go grocery shopping. Thank you. Mute the noise. Make appointment with doctor. Thank you. Mute the noise. Pay the bills. Thank you. Mute the noise. And when you finally hear the silence, when you have finally acknowledged all the thoughts that your unconscious wants you to know, acknowledge it. Read them off the list mentally. Show them gratitude. Thank you. And erase the board. And allow the silence, allow the calm silence of your unconscious mind to follow the music and allow it to take you to your place of Zen. Bring your attention to your breath. Breathe in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold. Inhale through your nose, fill your belly and then your chest. Hold for a moment, and then release, starting with your chest, the belly. If you find your thoughts are wandering, that's okay. Gently bring them back to this morning meditation. Thoughts will come. Acknowledge them. Show them gratitude. And gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Let go of any judgment you might have. Know that no matter what you do or how you do it, this meditation, it's right for you. For the next few breaths, bring your awareness to the rise and fall of the chest, pausing at the end of each inhale and exhale to touch the silence. Allow yourself a deep yawn or a sigh. You can fake a yawn until one comes in, but I bet you a natural one is just waiting. And allow your breathing to return to a normal pace, and just notice the natural rhythm of your breath. Bring your attention to the top of your head. Relax the muscles of the top, the sides, the back of your head. Move to your forehead and soften it. Soften the eyebrows, the eyes, your ears and cheeks. Unclench your jaw. Relax your tongue, your lips. Bring your attention to the throat. Allow the muscles surrounding it to relax. Soften the back of your neck. Move your attention to your shoulders and do the same. Focus on your upper arms, your forearms, hands, relaxing each as you go. Relax each finger, the thumb, your index finger, the middle finger, your ring finger and pinky. Relax the palms of your hands. Bring your awareness to your chest. Soften the muscles that make up the chest wall. Relax your belly, your abdomen. Move to the top of your back. Relax the muscles around your shoulder blades, the middle part of your back, and the lower part, all the way down to the buttocks. Relax your right thigh, the muscles around your knee, the front of your leg, your calf muscle, your right ankle, your right foot, and toes. Bring your attention to your whole body. Notice any sensations you feel. Bring your gentle attention to any area that you would like to relax further. Scan your entire body as you breathe. Let your whole being settle into this morning practice. Mentally picture the morning sun rising. Feel its warm rays of light infusing you with beautiful yellow energy. Allow the ribbons of light to surround your body, relaxing it. Observe your breath, your calm breathing. If you find that your thoughts have taken you somewhere else, that's okay. Acknowledge them, show them gratitude, and gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your chest rise with each inhale. Notice the parts of the body that gently move. Notice your chest and abdomen as you exhale. Feel the parts of your body that move. Breathe. Breathe in, sending oxygen to your head and face. Exhale. Breathe. And send life-giving air to your neck, shoulders, and chest muscles. Allow them to take in the air and get ready for the day. Breathe. And send oxygen to your entire back. Allow those muscles to awaken. Breathe. Send the oxygen to your abdomen and thighs. Breathe. Send energy from your breath to the legs to power you through the day. Breathe. Allow the sun's rays to infuse you with the energy you need to begin your day. Now, allow the energy from the air you breathe and the warm rays to begin to power you up for the whole day. into your heart. Send golden energy to your heart center in gratitude for the beginning of this new day. Remain focused on your breath for the next few moments. Thoughts are okay. Acknowledge them. Show them gratitude. Slowly allow your unconscious mind to become aware of the other energies around you in the room. Slowly become aware of the sounds around you in the room. Sounds of the building. The sounds from outside. Breathe in. Wiggle your fingers. Exhale. Wiggle your toes. Breathe in. Roll your wrists. Shrug your shoulders. Exhale. Roll your ankles. And when you are ready, open your eyes. As always, I will let the chill music roll for a few extra moments, just so you can continue your own meditation, you can continue this moment of relaxation. I want to thank you again for joining me this morning for a motivation, meditation, and coffee with Kat. And I hope you're able to join me again. Remember, in Dungeons & Dragons, when a player uses the help action, the other player gets to roll with advantage. So let me use the help action. Help you live with advantage.